So I actually am taking the museum tour. I'm on the track now where I'm looking at the grandstands. This is the track. I'm at the beginning of it, so section 124. The track is pretty big. I forgot how big it is actually, but I'll have to look that up later. And there's the grandstands, one of the grandstands, and it goes up pretty high.
Alrighty, everyone, so the track that we're looking at right now, we call this our dirt track. It's not just dirt though, it's mostly sand, a little bit of Ohio River Valley silt, and a little bit of clay to hold it all together. This track is a mile long, it is 85 feet wide, it is 25 feet deep, and yes, I said just 55 feet, which is very impressive, even more impressive considering the time in which it was built. This is the original track that was built in 1875, and as you all know, there was no such thing as a factory back then. That means this track was almost entirely hand-built. The starting gate for the Kentucky Derby is going to be at that red and white pole down there with the gold top on it. There will be 20 horses in that starting gate. This is the only race that we will allow 20 horses to run in at a time. This is because it is a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity to run in the Kentucky Derby. You must be a 3-year-old thoroughbred horse, and you have to qualify. In order to qualify, you run a series of qualifying races and accumulate a bunch of points. At the end of the season, they add all those points up, and that is who they figure out who their top 20 are. The horses are going to break out of that gate, quite literally rumble down through here, make one lap around the track, pass that pole one time because it is a 1.25-mile race, and they're going to finish up at the other end of the racetrack at that big white pole with the gold top on it. That is known as the finish line pole. Kind of a rule of thumb is the closer you are to the finish line pole and the higher you are up in the grandstands, the higher up your ticket prices are also going to go. So if you look to that very top level all the way up there with that black colored fencing and the gold or brass colored railing at the very top, that is known as the mansion area. It's the most elite seats here. And then right below it is known as Millionaire's Row, where a lot of our celebrities will sit on race day, such as Tom Brady, Kim K, Michael Jackson, even the Queen of England has been on Millionaire's Row.
Millionaire's Row off in the distance.
In the house, I like to talk about what is the cheapest way I can get into the Kentucky Derby, and that is through buying what is called an infield ticket. The infield is the center of the racetrack. It's around 26 acres and will hold around 80 to 100,000 people in the day of the Kentucky Derby. Now I say that, but there is no maximum limit. If you come here on the day of the Derby and you want an infield ticket, they will get you one and they will somehow, some way squeeze you on in there. Now I will warn you, if you're not a big people person or a very big party person, that is probably not the best ticket for you, as there's a whole lot of people out there and a whole lot of partying going on. It has been compared to Spring Break, Woodstock, and Mardi Gras all wrapped into one.
So that pole down there with the gold top is the starting position. That's where they line up and start the Kentucky Derby, right there, that area.
But we do have this huge screen up here that all the races will be played on. That screen is the size of 3 NBA basketball
And I think the airport's close by.
Stories high. So you should have no trouble seeing that from anywhere here on Churchill's property. On the day of the Kentucky Derby, there will be 14 races held that day. The Derby itself is the 12th race of the day. Beyond that big screen, you can see all those green rooftops. Those are all of our barns back there. We have 46 barns and a maximum capacity of 1,400 horses. In addition to all of those horses, we also have an entire living community back there. We have apartments, dormitories, a learning center, a chapel, a restaurant. Just about everything you need to live is on the back side of the racetrack.
A
lot of the people who don't take care of the racehorses actually live on the back side of the track, and this ensures that those horses have access to 24/7 care if need be. You all might have noticed, in addition to this dirt track, on the inside of that we actually have a turf track. It's around 7/8 of a mile. We run a little over 750 races here annually. We run about a third of our races on our turf. We try not to run too many races on the turf, as it is not nearly as durable as our dirt track. If you look to the inside of the turf track over there, to that little 2-story white building, that is known as the Bugler's Pagoda. That is where our bugler, Steve Bottleman, will play the call to post before every single race time. And then right out in front of that little two-story white building, kind of sacred ground here at Churchhill Downs, that is where the winner of the Kentucky Derby will go to receive about $1.8 million, a gold trophy, and a big lei of roses. Now that winner's circle is only for the winner of the Kentucky Derby. Any other winner will go on ground level almost directly across the track to what's called the Woodford Reserve winner's circle. You want to point out one last thing, and those are the two spiky things over top of the grandstands over there. Those are known as the Twin Spires. They are a symbol of Churchhill Downs, and they are also a National Historical Landmark. So if we want to do anything to them, so just put a fresh coat of paint on them, or even just repair a shingle, we do have to contact Washington, D.C. first to get their permission. Those Twin Spires, the grandstands right below them, are the oldest part of the grandstands built on this side of the racetrack. Originally, the grandstands were built on the same side as the horses, but Churchhill quickly realized not everyone loves the smell of a horse, and they definitely don't want to be downwind of that smell. So they decided to move the grandstands to the side of the racetrack, and that was the first section to be built in 1895. If you look right below that section to the green awning, below that is where the owners will sit on race day. Those are known as the owners' boxes. Does anybody have any questions? How do people get into the infield? There's actually tunnels that run under
Those green
the track
awnings
will
there,
pop you out of the infield.
it's hard to see them, but that's what she's talking about.
The red and white
That
poles,
section
the
right
starting
there
gate
is
physically
where the
itself,
owners
the backside of the racetrack,
sit.
just stored, that's where they store it. Yes, it moves, they pull it in on a tractor, and then the horses will break out of that, and as soon as they break out of it, they get it out of the way because they need to make another lap around, and they don't want that starting gate to be in the way. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not sure, actually. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure this is the only year. Yes. Any other questions?